Steady manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top is missing, the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game missing. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for...
Hello, everybody. It's the coach. This is a special edition of the NFC Championship game on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Well, Coach, it is a part of the country that could definitely use the rain, but it's also going to make for a very wet track tonight here at Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Coming up, it's a battle to represent the NFC in this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Green Bay Packers and the San Francisco 49ers. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The excitement level around here at a fever pitch as we're underway in the 2020 NFC Championship game. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by Aaron Rodgers, a Northern Cal native, played his college football just across the bay at Berkeley.
I would expect him to get a good reception being back in the home area, without a doubt. They remember how well he played for Cal. But think about how his pro career started. He thought he might be the first pick in the entire draft. Instead, Alex Smith was selected, and he went to San Francisco. He has to go all the way to 24 before Green Bay grabs him. And there's a guy who's eventually...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Quran Williams. And he'll bring this one back to the 29. Well, that's tough. You come in here, you dial up that pass play on the first play from scrimmage and get it picked.
And you know, coaches always talk about we prepare for every eventuality. You don't even mention this as a possibility when you dial up that play, right? Instead, they throw a pick, and now they're behind the 8 ball on the road to get things going.
San Francisco coming back out here on offense. See, this is a team that has, in the midst of their first playoff appearance since 2013, biggest jump of any squad because just 4 wins last year, 13 this year, and that win in Seattle, Week 17, so huge. The tackle by Dre Greenlaw and Jacob Hollister on the half-yard line to preserve the victory. You think about the magnitude of that play. What a difference it would be between 3 road games if they would have been the number 5 seed versus 2 potential home games as the number 1 seed.
If they find a way to win the Super Bowl, that tackle will be remembered. It's already there with Dan Bunz's hit in the Super Bowl against Pete Johnson, the Cincinnati Bengals. We'll talk about that like Mike Jones's stop for the Rams against the Titans in the Super Bowl, where he stopped them about 1 yard short. That's how big of a play that was, to give them that open week and a chance to rest, because I think that team needed it. But I'm loving what San Francisco has done. Jimmy Garoppolo, people will question him about playing in the playoffs. Go back and look at the season. He played in how many different playoff-type games? I think he'll be okay. The defense and the pass rush. And if they needed just a little extra on the top, they're going to paint the end zones red, as they normally do when the 49ers have a big-time team. and that's what they're doing for the playoffs.
And, Charles, despite this list of key inactives that we see here, they've obviously still been pretty successful.
Give everyone credit for this one, because to me, when that happens, key guys are out, the next man steps up and plays well, but that starts with the organization itself, all the way through. No excuses for guys being out. Finding guys who are capable backups who can step up and play when they need them, and we've seen the results of that. This team knows how to work through things. I know in every game we do, we talk about momentum. That was a momentum play lost, and now there could be a letdown because they didn't get the interception.
Yeah, you could almost hear the collective gasp. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. A 9-yard touchdown grab, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Things could just not have started any better for them. They get the turnover, the football right away, able to capitalize on offense for 6.
And we're talking about setting a tone in any game, right? The first points of a ball game. How about during the playoffs? Vitally important, and they've done that in this one.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that makes the score 7-0. A drive there of just 4 plays, and it's polished off by a touchdown for San Francisco. This is fielded a couple yards deep. A marker down. He does get it up past the 25. Will it hold? Let's see.
Face mask. Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout, and we will. We've got an injured Packer on the field. While the traders take a look, we'll step aside. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Working from the gun, Rodgers. This is caught. It's Ryan Grant. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well. Throwing on first down is Rodgers. It's complete to Williams. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Well, they try to swing it out left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
And look at this, for the 2nd straight play, the 49er defense drops him for a loss. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
And this won't get there, won't be online either. It's no good, off to the right, and this score will stay right where it is. It was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this. You have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's what you're looking for.
Here we go, here we go. 11, 11, 11, 11.
Play fake there to Coleman. Now Garoppolo. He'll take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Well, you've got a receiver here who's got 1 touchdown already in this first quarter, and they were trying to double his pleasure there. Wanting to continue to go to the guys already gotten into the end zone. But good coverage to make sure that this time it fell incomplete.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo. And this is incomplete. He was trying to get it to George Kittle, his tight end, and it'll bring up 3rd down. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
This one into the hands of Kittle, the tight end. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Charles, this Green Bay team, they're going to get the football back here, but as they do that, it's maybe the quietest 13-3 season in recent memory. The losses to the Eagles, Chargers, and 49ers, and that's it. They will get a tough challenge against Seattle in the wild card game. What do they need to do if they're going to get Aaron Rodgers his second shot at a Super Bowl?
Continue to do a lot of what they did during the season. You're right. It was a quiet, almost unsettling 13-3 because most of the teams that they beat walked away thinking, we can beat that Packers team. And Aaron Rodgers himself said, hey, if you want to call it ugly, that's fine. I'll take 13-3 ugly. But all year long, they actually rode the running game. Aaron Jones, and now they're going to give him more carries in the playoffs. They want to make sure he got to the end of the regular season. He'll get more carries, more catches, and you saw that big game he had catching against Kansas City during the season. The defense with the Smith brothers, Zadarius and Preston, they get after the quarterback. If they can prevent people from running the football against them and keep those 5 and 6 DBs on the field, Green Bay could be dangerous on that side of the ball, and at some point, I expect Aaron Rodgers to be Aaron Rodgers and have a big game in the playoffs.
10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. On 4th down, J.K. Scott ready to punt it away. The 49ers have Richie James back deep. Taken in at the 11. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
The throw right side is complete here on the first play of the drive. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10.
Here I come again. Here I come again.
Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Zadarius Smith, credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Here's a throw out wide, complete to his running back right side. Give him 5 on the screenplay, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. The Niners passing game in sync now. They've got another first down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game.
They run on first down as they're able to get this forward for about 4. B.J. Goodson there on the tackle. On second down, it's Coleman, and they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he's taken down inside the 30.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. On first down, Garoppolo. That's going to be caught by Samuel. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Well, they had a gain of 10 last time, now a gain of 20 here. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
And a reminder, folks, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report coming up shortly. The coach with us, as always, as he will start to look ahead to Super Bowl 53. He'll run it, and he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
Here we go.
They'll come out in the pistol. Well, they've gotten it down to the 3, but now this is 3rd and goal. To throw is Garoppolo. The quick slant caught. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And no move to take the offense on the field. They're going to stay out there and go for it on 4th and goal. Garoppolo, quarterback sneak. Try to wedge his way in there. No signal. I don't think he got there. He didn't. They try the sneak, but not enough push. He doesn't get in. And the Packer defense stands tall down by the goal line. They begin the drive with Williams. Oh, and he's not going to make it out of the end zone. The push too strong, and that'll be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come up to 6.
A lot of points. Tevin Coleman and the rest of the offense making their way back out. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series. So those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Flush to his right. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half.
Here we go. Like 20.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. Open man is Samuel, complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, they like his work ethic. This guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Being chased out. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. There's Garoppolo to throw. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 27-yard line. Now Garoppolo. That's Samuel, caught left side. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Here we go.
There's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. That is caught by the tight end Kittle. Touchdown, 49ers. Jimmy Garoppolo with his second touchdown pass in this first half. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
That's one of the better examples of clock management I've seen. Whittled it all the way down just about and still put the ball in the end zone.
And just a methodical drive and something really to take into the lockers here. Now Gold for the extra point. And that one makes this a 19-point game. So that drives 7 plays in length. And the end result for the 49ers, a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. So we've reached halftime here in the NFC Championship. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. As always, one half remains in the Battle of the Sea. He will take home that George Halas Trophy and represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. We'll get back to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's look back to the AFC Championship game held earlier today. And it's the Kansas City Chiefs who are heading to the Super Bowl as they await the winner of this NFC Championship game. So with that, let's get you right back out for the second half, as one of these teams will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. To find out who, let's turn it back over to Brandon Godden.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Halas Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Muhammad Wilkerson sacks him that time, coming in off the edge.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Well, that last sack, it puts Garoppolo and the 49ers in a tough spot. They face a 3rd and long. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. And the pressure gets to him again. Kenny Clark providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. DeForest Buckner in on the tackle. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Rodgers. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And able to find Graham. Complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. Just shy of the 20. 23 yards, the final tally.
Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Williams. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver. But now it'll be 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Shotgun now for Rodgers. This is caught by Williams. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and this is a line football. Accelerating, and off he goes. The 30, the 20, and they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Niners are able to stretch their lead. Gold to add the extra point. And this is off the left upright, but he banks it through. How about that one? The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Now the Packers get set to go. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Rodgers gives this to Jamal Williams. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
56, right there, 56.
Rodgers looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers' 44-yard line.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
11 yards and a Green Bay Packer first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. 1 quarter remains until the NFC crowns its champion. And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Shotgun now for Rodgers. He'll get this off to Jamal Williams. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now Rodgers. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Here's Rodgers. It's Williams on the catch. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle him after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and the drive will wind up yielding 3. Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
Here we go. Black 80! Go ahead.
They'll start out here with a jet sweep, and that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Now on 2nd and 13. Garoppolo. It's caught by Sanders. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A first down there on a pickup of 25.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money.
Yeah, you don't have to tuck your head in and go like turtle at this point. You just go ahead and play.
They'll run with Coleman on first down. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They will run again with Coleman. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Niners on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Now Garoppolo on the bootleg. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Preston Smith, he's the culprit, causes a loss of 5, and it brings up 4th down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play action sack. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's 49er football here as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that will make the lead now 26. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. 11 yards and a Green Bay Packer 1st down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Working from the gun, Rodgers. Man open, that's Marquez Valdez-Scantling. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Throwing again on 2nd down. Rodgers. And the pass complete to Ryan Grant. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And this is caught. Well, they get one back. Picking up the late touchdown here, but still down big. Well, something about this team, you just felt like they were one of destiny all season long, and they made themselves today, as you can see, the class of the NFC.
Yeah, and it's starting to look more and more like a Super Bowl trip is very much in their future.
And the fans starting to book those tickets. Crosby connects on the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And 3 timeouts remaining here defensively, but really not much reason to use them at this point, as this one is all but over.
If they use the timeouts here, it's strictly for show. We got plenty to catch.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with him.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Switch up, switch up.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
Let's go.
And for all these guys, whether you're a rookie, a 10-year veteran, there's no feeling like this NFC champs.
And you feel like family. Never at any time do you feel more like family than when you're sharing the joy of being the NFC champs. And now everyone gets to say they're going to the Super Bowl.
And that does it for the conference championship. For Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And for our entire crew, we'll see you 2 weeks at the Super Bowl. This is the NFL on EA Sports.